Hello everybody, Inter back again with another video. We had 128 players in the draw when this French Open 2020 started 12 days ago. Now guys, we have only 4 left. And we all know by now, we who love tennis, who those 4 players are. It is Novak Djokovic, the superior world number 1, who has not still lost one single match in 2020 season, even though he got defaulted last month in US Open in that 4th round against PCB. Well, I don't count that as a normal loss. So he is technically he has won 36 matches so far, if I am counted right. And 0 losses. If you count that the default against PCB, 36-1. Novak Djokovic. Then the other player, of course, is the clay court machine, the clay court GOAT, the 12 times French Open champion, Rafael Nadal, the world number 2. And then I don't know, can we call them the underdogs, or Diego Schwartzman, the world number 14, who is probably in his shape of his life at the current moment. At least he has been that these last couple of weeks. And then we have the golden boy from Greek, the very, very talented Stefanos Tsitsipas, the world number 6 at the current moment. Yeah guys, like the title is saying, this is a French Open semifinals preview. What I do believe about these upcoming matches that we have tomorrow, who will be the winners in these 2 matches, and what are my thoughts about this. Let's not waste your time guys, and without further ado, let's start talking about these 2 semifinals matches that we have ahead of us. Let's start with Rafa Nadal versus Diego Schwartzman first. The head-to-head between these 2 guys is 9-1 to Rafa Nadal, guys. Rafa Nadal is obviously owning Diego Schwartzman. But we all remember that the last time they faced each other, which was last month in Rome, Diego Schwartzman got his first ever win against Rafa Nadal in that quarterfinal match. Straight sets. So Diego Schwartzman will go into the court tomorrow and believing and knowing that I have finally defeated this clay court beast on his best surface, clay. So it will not be like so that will be some confidence boost for him, some kind of belief for him when he goes into the court, knowing that I have at least defeated him once in my life, and I did that on clay, on his best surface, in straight sets. So that is great news for Diego Schwartzman. And if you look at that match that they played last month in Rome, Diego Schwartzman was really superior in that match. I remembered it. I know if you guys remember it, but I really remember that match. Rafa Nadal, he just destroyed 2 opponents before Diego Schwartzman. First opponent he destroyed was PCB, and the second opponent he destroyed was Lajovic, and then he was facing Diego Schwartzman in that quarterfinal. But Diego Schwartzman was really firing in all cylinders, especially in that first set. I have never seen Diego Schwartzman doing such an amazing first set like he did against Rafa Nadal. Yeah, I know Rafa Nadal didn't do his best set in his life for sure, especially he was not serving great, not in the first or second set, but especially in the first set. But Diego Schwartzman really was firing all cylinders. He did 13 winners in that first set, I remember, and only 5 unforced errors. In total, Diego Schwartzman did 31 winners in that match, and only 21 unforced errors. So 22 unforced errors, I'm sorry, Diego Schwartzman. He did 31 winners in that match and 22 unforced errors, I remember. Rafael Nadal, on the other hand, he didn't do his best match, like I said. He did 21 winners, Rafa Nadal, and 30 unforced errors. 30 unforced errors Rafa Nadal does in that match, and 18 with his forehand, I remember. So obviously Rafa Nadal didn't do his best match for sure against Diego Schwartzman, but all credit to Diego Schwartzman, he did his best match in his life, in my opinion. So but Rafa Nadal was not serving great. He was serving 43% first serve, and that is way too little. You cannot come away against a quality player like Diego Schwartzman with 43% first serve. Enough about that match. So Rafa Nadal, he needs to have much higher first serve in this semifinal tomorrow. He really needs it. He cannot come away serving between 45 to 50% first serve against Diego Schwartzman. If he does that, he will lose. If not lose, he will be in huge trouble. He really will be that. So he needs to be over 55% first serve Rafa Nadal, because when the rally is on, Diego Schwartzman is a machine. We all know Diego Schwartzman tennis style. He runs in every single ball. He really chases every ball. He throws back at you everything. So Diego Schwartzman will give Rafa Nadal what Rafa Nadal gives to everyone else. He will not miss a lot. He will miss, yes, but not crazy much. He has potential to do a lot of winners. Like I said, against Rafa Nadal in the last encounter in Rome, he did 31 winners, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. So 31 or 30, something like that he did. A lot of winners Diego Schwartzman did. And Rafa Nadal did 30 or 31 unforced errors in total. So Rafa Nadal, of course, needs to do a much better match in this Paris match tomorrow. He needs to serve better. He needs to do more winners than he did against Diego Schwartzman in that match. 21 winners will not be enough. But I think he will do more than 21 winners in this semi-final, because it is 5-set battle. He will have, if the match goes, the match cannot end in 2 sets like it did in Rome. So he will have much more time to do more winners, Rafa Nadal. All in all, Rafa Nadal needs to be firing in all cylinders in this matchup tomorrow, in this semi-final. Because he was definitely not firing in all cylinders in Rome, in that Rome clash against Diego. So and Rafa Nadal, because in that match in Rome he was desperate. He could not hit through Diego. And when he noticed that he can't hit through him because the condition was heavy, they played night match. He was trying to do a lot of drop shots. He was so desperate. I've never seen Rafa Nadal being so desperate like he was in that match against Diego in Rome last month. So, and it will not be easy hitting through Diego in Paris as well, because they are not playing this match in June or May. It is still October, guys. So, and we don't know how the weather will be tomorrow. Maybe it will be rain, and if it is rain, the roof will be on. And when the roof is on, the humidity will be very high humidity. So, and the condition will be slow. The ball will not bounce high. Nevertheless, even if it's not rain, even if the roof is open, the ball will still not bounce very high. So Rafa Nadal needs to do a really good match, because we all know that Rafa Nadal is a better player than Diego Schwartzman. He has a better serve. He has a better forehand. Maybe even a better backhand, even though I really love Diego Schwartzman backhand, really can take that ball on the rise and hit some great backhand cross courts and also great down the line backhands. But all in all, Rafa Nadal is a better player. It is not For God's sakes, Rafa Nadal has won 19 majors. Diego Schwartzman has never won a major. He has never even played the final in a major. He has only won 3 tournaments in his life, Diego Schwartzman. And all of them have been small tournaments, of course, which is a mystery to me. How this kind of quality player like Diego has only won 3 tournaments. That is, to me, unbelievable, to be quite honest. But he's inconsistent, that's why. And we all know sports is all about consistency. Everyone can do great tournaments here and there, but not everyone can be consistency machines a la Federer, a la Nadal, a la Djokovic, to say the least. Anyway, Rafa Nadal is a total different beast in French Open in Paris than what he is in other tournaments, even on clay. We all know that Rafa Nadal is much harder to defeat in 5 sets on clay than he is in 3 sets. A couple of players that defeated Rafa Nadal in 3 sets matches on clay. Couple of them. Team has defeated Rafa Nadal on clay in 3 sets. In 3 sets tournaments 4 times, but he has not even been close of defeating Rafa Nadal in French Open in 4 meetings. He has taken only 1 set in 4 meetings. Just that Diego defeated Rafa last month in Rome in straight set doesn't necessarily mean that he will now defeat Rafa Nadal in French Open. Absolutely not. They have faced each other once. They have faced each other 4 times on clay, actually. It is 3-1 to Rafa Nadal. And 1 time they faced each other in French Open, 2018 quarterfinal. And in that match, actually Diego Schwartzman won a set, and that was the first set. I think that Rafa Nadal will do a much better match in this semifinal than he did in Rome. I think he will serve better. I think he will do more winners. Even though it will not be easy hitting through Diego Schwartzman. Diego Schwartzman will give Rafa Nadal a hell of a run for his money. I truly believe that. Diego Schwartzman will make Rafa Nadal hit a lot of extra shots. Rafa Nadal will not have easy hitting through Diego Schwartzman on the 2nd or 3rd or 4th or 5th shot or even 6th shot. It will take many times over 7 to 8, maybe even 10 times hitting through Diego Schwartzman when they will go to long exchanges. But I just think that Rafa Nadal he plays different in French Open. He will play better than he did in Rome. He will serve better. Will do more winners. He will find his forehand much better than he did in Rome, because in that Rome clash against Diego, he did only with his forehand 18 unforced errors. He will do unforced errors with his forehand in this match as well. But I just think that the best shot in the court will be Rafa's forehand. That will be Rafa. That shot will probably dominate the match. He will do some errors because he's hitting some flat forehands more nowadays than he hit, for example, last year in French Open because of the conditions. But he's not hitting flat forehands all the time, like people are saying that, oh, Rafa is hitting flat forehands all the time. No, he's not hitting flat forehands all the time because he still needs that topspin, even though he doesn't bounce as high of the cold conditions, but he needs to have safe shots, because we all know topspin goes like this and flat shots goes like this, and he doesn't want to do unforced errors if he too many flat shots, because flat shots are more risky than topspin shots. We all know that. So I just think that Rafa Nadal will do a much better match than he did in Rome. He will be ready, he will be prepared. French Open is his home castle, it is his throne, guys. He has won this tournament 12 times for a reason. He has now won 98 matches here in French Open and lost only 2. So if he wins the tournament, he will win 100 matches in total. That would be astonishing, guys. Astonishing if he does that. I think he will win his 99th match against Diego Schwartzman. I will not be shocked if Diego Schwartzman wins. Rafa Nadal is beatable. He's much beatable now than he was, say, 3-4 years ago. Absolutely. And Diego Schwartzman is not an easy dude to take out. He really isn't. He's playing his tennis of his life at the current moment. And like I said in the beginning of the video, he will give Rafa Nadal the same medicine what Rafa Nadal gives to everyone else. Rafa Nadal when Rafa will face Diego Schwartzman, he will feel like he's facing himself. Diego Schwartzman is a super grinder, like Rafa Nadal. But Diego Schwartzman is not as good of a player like Nadal is. Diego Schwartzman is not as talented a player like Nadal is. Diego Schwartzman is not as a big, tall guy like Rafa Nadal is. We know that Diego Schwartzman is pretty short, but he's really strong for his height. Even though he's short, he has really heavy ground strokes and can really hit a lot of winners, both with his backhand and with his forehand. His serve is his big weakness. So I think that Rafa Nadal will break Diego Schwartzman's serve a lot of times. For God's sake, Dominic Thiem break Diego Schwartzman's serve 9 times. And Dominic Thiem is not even as good as a returner as Rafa Nadal is. He's not even as near as good as a returner as Rafa Nadal is. So I think that in the end of the day, Rafa will break Diego Schwartzman's serve more times than what Diego Schwartzman will break Rafa's serve. That will be the key to the match, I think. I think that Diego Schwartzman will hang in with Rafa Nadal from the rallies, absolutely. He will not be afraid of challenging Rafa Nadal from the baseline. He will step in to the baseline and to take that ball on his strike zone, because the ball will not bounce very high because of the cold conditions. Like I said, they are playing the match on October, not on May, June. So he will hit the ground strokes on his strike zone, and he will do a lot of winners, but he will do a lot of unforced errors as well, Diego Schwartzman. So if Dominic Thiem could squeeze out, I think he did 62 unforced errors against Dominic Thiem, Diego Schwartzman. I think that Rafa can also squeeze out 50, 60 unforced errors from Diego Schwartzman's record. I really think so. Alright, it was a long preview about this first match. I think Rafa takes this one in 4 sets. I think Rafa will lose his first set in this year's French Open tournament, because he has not lost one single set so far. He has won all his first 5 matches in straights. I think he loses the first set against Diego Schwartzman. I will not be shocked if Rafa defeats Diego in straight sets, but I will be a little surprised. Not much, because we are talking about the clay court beast, the clay court machine, Rafa Nadal here, but a little surprised I would be, because if Rafa takes out Diego in straights, because Diego has looked really good in this year's French Open. He has only dropped 2 sets, and those 2 sets was against Dominic Thiem. Alright, let's go to the next match between Novak Djokovic versus Stefanos Tsitsipas. The head-to-head between these two are 3-2 to Novak Djokovic. Last time they played was in Dubai final, where Novak prevailed in straight sets. That match was, of course, a hard-court match. And they have faced each other only one time on clay, and that was last year in Madrid final, where Novak won in straight sets. And after that match, actually, Tsitsipas said, "I've never seen a human being hitting the backhand as good as Novak Djokovic does." He was deadly impressed from his backhand, Stefanos Tsitsipas, in that Madrid final last year. So what can we say about this upcoming semi-final? Look, Novak Djokovic has looked really good in this year's French Open so far. He won his first 4 matches in straight sets. The only set he has dropped so far was in that match against PCB, in that first set, in that quarterfinal. And that first set against PCB was Novak Djokovic's worst set so far in this tournament, like I said. He was not firing all cylinders from the beginning at PCB, and he did his worst set so far in the tournament. But after that first set against PCB, he won those 3 sets pretty comfortably. Not maybe comfortably, but at least the second and third set he won comfortably against PCB, 6-2 and 6-3. The 4th set was more evens from Novak's side. The 4th set he won against PCB 6-4. But all in all, Novak has looked solid, man. He has been clutch. That is Novak Djokovic's biggest strength. He has many strengths as a tennis player, Novak Djokovic, but his biggest strength is he's so damn clutch in big moments. You can have break points, you can have game points, you can have set points, even match points. The guy never surrenders. The guy never gives up. The guy is so damn good when it matters the most. He raises his level when he needed it the most. Like he said when he won Rome, even though he said, I didn't have, to be quite honest, I don't feel that I have played my absolute best, but I have raised my level when I have needed that the most. And that is the scary part with Novak. Even if you are up, even if you are up with 1 or 2 breaks, you are not safe. Like Diego was up 2 breaks against Novak Djokovic in that Rome final in the first set. 2 breaks up he was. No problem. Not a huge problem for the greatest serve returner of all time. He break back. He took back both of two breaks from Diego Schwartzman in that Rome final. So we know that Djokovic can disappear from matches. He can have dips like he had against PCB from the beginning of the match in the first set, and in the third set as well, when he was up 3-love in the third set against PCB, and PCB leveled the match 3-3. So I'm counting with Novak. He cannot be as consistent as Rafa Nadal. Nobody can. It is impossible. No, what Rafa does is unreal. It is unhuman. He never disappears, for God's sakes. And if he does it, he can disappear for 2, 3, maximum 5 minutes. So I don't think that Djokovic will be superior the entire match against Tsitsipas. No, because Tsitsipas is too good of a player for Novak to be superior all the time. Tsitsipas will put pressure on him. Tsitsipas is a great first serve and a pretty solid second serve. He has a good forehand, really good forehand. Not an amazing backhand, but a solid backhand Tsitsipas has, and a really fantastic net game. I love Tsitsipas' net game. Tsitsipas, I think he approached the net 17 times against Rublev, and he won 16 out of net approaches. 16. So he failed only 1 time when he approached the net against Rublev. And 16 of those out of 17 approaches on the net, he won 16 of those points. That is unbelievable. That is great. So Tsitsipas will really play ultra aggressive, I believe, against Novak, because Tsitsipas knows that he cannot handle Novak from the baseline. If he trades, if he goes to long exchanges from the baseline, eventually Novak Djokovic will find Stefanos' backhand. And all respect to Stefanos' backhand is good, but it is not amazing. His forehand is amazing. His backhand is solid. His backhand can be you can break down that shot. And Djokovic will, of course, try to break it down. He will try it. And when Stefanos Tsitsipas doesn't feel comfortable hitting topspin backhands, he will try to slice it. I know he will try, because Stefanos doesn't hit topspin backhands as much as Shapovalov does. Shapovalov, he hits his backhand. He seems to feel more comfortable hitting topspin backhands, but that isn't the case with Stefanos. He slices more, and those slices can be sometimes efficient against a player like Djokovic, but the slices doesn't bite so much against Nadal. But now he's facing Djokovic, so to slice backhands can be sometimes good for Stefanos, but he cannot do it all the time, because if he will do it all the time, Djokovic will just go around and takes those slices with the forehand and hit that forehand cross court or down the line. So, but I think that Djokovic will try to attack Stefanos Tsitsipas' backhand as much as possible. He's not stupid, man. He will not go to his forehand so much, because he knows that his forehand is much better than his backhand. And that is the one way how the match will go on, I think. And the other game plan will be when Stefanos will miss the first serve, because he will not land all his first serve. Nobody does. Djokovic will punish his second serve. His second serve can sometimes be short, can sometimes be slow. And when you are facing the greatest returner of all time, you really need to have very high first serve very high first serve sin. So for Stefanos to win the match against Djokovic, he really needs to be over 65% first serve sin. He needs to be. If he is under 65% first serve sin, Stefanos, if he is between 60 to 63 first serve sin, I don't think Stefanos can win this match. Then Djokovic will punish Stefanos' second serve. I'm pretty sure that Djokovic will win more behind the second serve than Stefanos will do, because Djokovic obviously has much better returns than Stefanos. Nobody has better returns than Novak Djokovic, and Djokovic will try to make this match brutal. He will try to take the rallies to go to long exchanges from the baseline, because he knows that if the rallies goes long, he has the upper hand, because he's the better player from the baseline. Nobody can take Djokovic down to the baseline. Nobody, not even, maybe Nadal sometimes, but not even him can do it on the regular basis. Absolutely not. And I don't think that Stefanos can take Novak Djokovic down to the baseline. So Stefanos' chance to win this match is serve big, go to the net. Even though he was very successful at the net against Rublev, like I said, he won 16 out of 17 net approaches against Rublev. But Djokovic is not Rublev. Djokovic he passes you much better than who are the best passing shots player on the tour? Djokovic and Nadal. These are the best players in the world to passing players when they approach the net. So I'm convinced that Tsitsipas will not be as successful at the net as he was against Rublev in this semifinal against Djokovic. I'm completely convinced about that. Anyway, Djokovic, man, he has, but Stefanos has looked really good as well in this tournament. Djokovic has looked really good. He has only dropped one set, like I said, against PCB in that first set. And Stefanos has dropped only 2 sets. That was the first round against Munar. So Djokovic is absolutely not unbeatable. Absolutely not. He isn't. Stefanos can definitely defeat Djokovic. I wouldn't be shocked if Stefanos defeats Djokovic. I wouldn't even be surprised if Stefanos beats Djokovic. To be quite honest with you guys, in these 2 semifinals, Djokovic and Nadal are the favorites to win these 2 matches. No question about that. It is Nadal is the 12-time Grand Slam champion. Novak Djokovic is Nadal is the 12-time French Open champion. Novak Djokovic is the superior world number 1. So these 2 are the favorites, but they are not impossible to beat. They are not 25, 26, 27 years old anymore. They are in the mid-30s years old. Nadal is 34 years old, Djokovic is 33 years old. And Stefanos has defeated Djokovic in the past 2 times. Never in a slam, though, but he has defeated him. So when he will go to the court, Stefanos, he will go to the court with the belief, with the confidence, that I can defeat this guy. I've defeated him in the past, and I can defeat him again. So Stefanos will be firing all cylinders. And he knows how to do it. He needs to serve big. He needs to go attack the net. He needs to hit as many winners as possible. He needs to have great backhand, not do many unforced errors with that backhand, not shank a lot of balls with that backhand, because he can sometimes shank a lot of balls with that backhand. And he needs to have low, not many unforced errors. Like he didn't have against Rublev. He had only 17 unforced errors against Rublev. But Djokovic is a different beast. Djokovic is not Rublev. Djokovic is, for God's sake, 17-time Grand Slam champion. So Stefanos will have a much harder time against Djokovic than he had against Rublev. So both of these 2 guys, the favorite, Djokovic and Nadal, absolutely can be beaten. I would not be surprised if one of these 2 guys, Stefanos or Diego, if one of these 2 becomes a crash reporter, like Dominic Thiem was the crash reporter last year in French Open when he took out Djokovic in 5 sets. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these 2, Diego or Stefanos, becomes a crash reporter. I really wouldn't be surprised. But I still will go with Djokovic winning the match against Stefanos. I just feel that it is now or never, Novak, to play your 5th French Open final, because he has played 4 French Open finals in the past, and he has not played the French Open final since 2016, since he won the French Open title 4 years ago. So for Novak Djokovic, it's now or never. He's maybe in the shape of his life, Novak Djokovic, maybe, probably not. He was probably better in 2011, 2015, but he's not that far away from that level, Djokovic. Like I said, Djokovic has not lost one single match so far this year. If you don't count that default match against PCB in US Open, but we all know that everything has an end. So even Djokovic he will lose someday. Maybe even this year he will lose someday, even in this 2020 season. I don't think. Let's see if he goes this season without losing one single match. But so everything has an end, guys. You cannot win all the time. So, but I cannot go against Novak Djokovic. I had him as my #1 favorite before the event started. I predicted a French Open final between Novak Djokovic and Rafa Nadal before the event started. But we should not forget that they actually have not played a Grand Slam final. These two gladiators, these two terminators, Nadal and Djokovic, in almost 2 years' time now, since that Oslo Open final 2019, and that is almost 2 years, guys. Because that Oslo Open final in 2019 that was played in the beginning of that year, so and we are almost in the 2021 year soon. So in almost 2 years' time, they have not faced each other in the Grand Slam final, Nadal and Djokovic. So. That is a proof that we have always someone who crashed the party. Let's see if Diego or Stefanos, if one of these two can crash the party. Guys, I don't think that both of these two, say if one of these two crashes the party, that is a possibility. But I just can't see that both of these two wins the matches. When I say both of these two, I mean Stefanos and Diego. And Djokovic and Nadal both losing the semifinals. I just can't see that happening, really. I would be surprised if both of these loses the matches, Djokovic and Nadal. But if one of these two loses the matches, that would not shock me or surprise me. That is definitely a possibility. But if both loses, both Djokovic and Nadal at the same time, their semifinals, that would surprise me, really. That would surprise me, to be quite honest. Anyway, this was a brutal long video. My prediction is that Nadal defeats Diego Schwartzman in 4 sets, and Novak Djokovic defeats Stefanos Tsitsipas in 4 sets. I just think that the world #1 and the world #2 will be too solid, too consistent, too good, too clutch. Especially Djokovic, he's the clutch machine for not reaching the finals. So I think that we will have a French Open final between Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal on Sunday. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and bye bye.